Welcome to Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. And on today's video, I want to talk about the importance of emotional maturity in relationships. Now, we talked the last time about how to build a strong foundation for a family and a marriage. And I want to bring these conversational topics to you because these are the ones that we need to actually have those mature conversations with people that we are looking to not only get in a relationship with, but possibly into a marriage with. So, fellas, if you have a lady out there that you are considering to propose to, we want to make sure that that person is most definitely mature enough to be able to handle that particular role. Ladies, we want to make sure that when we are looking at you for the possibility of marriage, that you are in your mature and most feminine state. Now, when we're looking at this, I want to go over 4 points. And I want us to look at the importance of emotional maturity in relationships, but I want to also look at how we can recognize and manage our emotions effectively. Now, why do I need to say that? You can go out and do a search on YouTube. You can look at the countless videos that are out here, and there's some really good content that's going to give you some thoughts, ways, most recent things that are going on in these relationships. And a lot of this has to deal with how we not only work together as people, but how we move when we're interacting with one another. Now, when we recognize and manage emotions effectively, what that means is we have to be able to not let words trigger our behavior to be a specific way. For example, when you look at the videos on YouTube that are posted out there, whether it's posted by the person or is reacted to, how many videos have you seen of men and women in other communities talking about the men and women in their communities and putting that publicly on the web to destroy the person's image? I want you to really think about that because a majority of the videos that we see out there that we're getting in the algorithm, you're seeing men and women out there disrespecting one another. You got the brothers out here disrespecting the sisters. You got the sisters disrespecting the brothers. People not trusting each other. That does not mean that successful relationships are not out there. It's just that they're not at the forefront of the algorithm pushed out to you in your feed for you to be able to see people who are actually in charge of their emotions and they're doing it effectively. You see the people who are ineffective in that putting out this content that's out there and it's destroying one another. Now, there are ways that most definitely we can change that. In order for you to be able to see that, not only do you have to search for it, but we have to also be the example in our communities to show the children that's coming up behind us how we need to conduct ourselves when we're out in public. As much as we like to see drama, who does not like to see drama? I mean, movies are even based off that. However, how we move determines how our future generations can be. Because think about 5 to 10 years from now, when you have kids that are of age who are teenagers looking back online and seeing their mother and father and their auntie disrespecting people that look exactly like them. Think about this, people. This is not the first and this is not the last time that we will have this conversation. It's going to take a minute to definitely get through. But how can we, as the second point, how can emotional intelligence strengthen the partnerships, the relationships? And see, when you start looking at the partnerships, that's another key word that will definitely trigger emotions because partnerships, when you think of it from a business standpoint, is two people who are bringing equal resources to the business in order for it to thrive, whether it be co-CEOs, whatever, and they're able to move accordingly to build something on top of that and let it grow. 50-50, equal sharing, and all the above. But when you look at the definition of partnership, it is talking about how the dynamics of the relationship can have the active contributions of both parties sharing equal decision making power, supporting each other's goals, consider each other's needs and perspectives equally. And that is where we're getting stuck at, because you have the men and women in the relationships thinking that they are equal in that matter. And that's a topic for discussion for another day. But we have to make sure that our emotional intelligence is not destroying the relationship, but it is strengthening it, because we have people behind us who are younger than us that are looking at the information that we're putting out there that could be, they can have their mind changed at the drop of a dime by just content that they're seeing that is destroying other people. Now, specifically, the Black content creation, when looking at the videos, is how many times can you actually scroll through your own personal feed? We can just start with YouTube. Scroll through your feed and see what type of content is pushed to you. Do you see positive content that reflect other non-Black communities? Like when you're going through there, you're scrolling through your content feed. Say you see an Asian family, or you see a European family, like an Italian family or a German family. Do you see them arguing and disrespecting each other? Probably not. You're not going to see that. But when you start looking at content in America, and you're seeing Black men and Black women going at each other's throat, and you see the dysfunction. How can we change that? Should we see much more of the positive aspects of Black marriage on YouTube, so that people can see there are successful Black couples out there that are married? And I'm not talking about celebrity couples. I'm not talking about celebrities in this. I'm talking about average, everyday working people. Now, to the third point, the impact of past experiences on our emotional maturity is, ladies, just because the last six dudes dogged you out doesn't mean the seventh man is going to. We shouldn't be judging each other's from what we did in the past. However, everybody wants somebody who is, or who's had a good track record. People can change. Now, what we don't want to do is allow something that happened in the past to revert back our emotional maturity. We should be mature enough to know that the world that we're in right now, the chances of you likely dating someone who has not dated somebody else is very slim to none. But when you meet that person, how are you going to react to that particular situation? That is what we are looking for. That is what I want you all to be able to see, because we need to most definitely move beyond that. We need to learn from our past experiences. Ladies, if the previous fella left you because you wasn't satisfying to him, then the next person that you get with, you can change that. You can grow, you can mature. Fellas, if the last lady that you was dealing with didn't cook for you, for example, the next person that you get with, maybe you should ask them, do you love to cook? And see how she cooks. And if you like it and it's something that you like and it turns you on, whatever, then you move forward with that person. We have to be able to talk this through and move forward with it, because people's past is going to always come up at some point, and it's a learning experience. But when you reach a certain age in your life, you shouldn't be still focused on the past. You have to move forward with the future, because you don't want that to cause a divide in your future family that you have going forward. Now, when you're looking at the fourth point, we're looking at developing self-awareness to avoid toxic patterns. Ladies, fellas, I'm talking to the both of you. If you have toxic behavior when you're in your single life, do not bring that into your future marriage. What marriage wants to go through toxic behavior? That can go from the type of things that we watch, the type of people that we hang around. Ladies, you can't be around your single friends. Fellas, you can't be around your single friends. And what that means is that if every free time, much of free time you got is around your single friends, instead of you all as couples being around other married couples to actually uplift one another, where is it going to go? You all have to make sure that you are in touch with your emotions on how to control them so that you are able to move beyond and move forward from that. We've always heard online therapy really helps. Therapy can really help a lot of people. Now, it's very important as we move from our single life into relationships that we grow and we mature. So, like, listen, subscribe, people. Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. You all have a good one.